In this demo company, we have two streams defined. We have a sales stream, so solar sales pipeline from lead to deposit, and we have installation, so the solar installation workflow from design to completion. In here you can see a few things, like we can see who created the stream, how many records there are or entities, and what steps are involved. We also can define who has access to the stream. So for example, I can turn Tina off and Tina will not have access to the sales stream, or I can add it back into it. So you have quite a bit of power just on this page alone. And remember, everything in Streams has been documented, so you can either look for it yourself in the help section, or you can ask Streams AI. You can basically say, how do I create a new stream? And then it will look through the documentation and tell you how to do it. So this one's saying, go to the Streams page. You're currently on the Streams page. Click the new stream. There it is there. On this page, yep. Name your stream, enter description, add your first step, and save. So everything in this is documented, and any documentation that you add can be referenced as well. But let's go and have a look and configure the sales stream. The first thing you're presented with when you go to configure streams is the streams fields. So in here we have a text, email, and phone. So we've got customer name, email, phone. We have an address. We have a current bill. We have different drop downs, so we can edit that as well. So we've got tile, tin, plastic. We might want to put iron in there if it's like a really old place as well. So that's updated. We can also add in a test field, which is just text, which we'll have a look at. And we can add these in to the steps that we've defined below. So in this one, we have created a lead, a site visit, a quote, acceptance, and deposit paid. Now, these could be named anything, or we can change these orders around if we want, but in your business you might have an additional step. You might not have one of these steps in here. This is the beauty of Streams, is that you can configure it to work with however you want. And the other thing is that there's documentation steps that you can fill out along the way. So this way you're not actually dependent upon any one person of what's required for these steps. You just need to document it yourself. So in this lead one, we have a new solar inquiry has come in. We need to qualify the lead. So we need to record customer name, their address, their phone and email, confirm they own the property, that they're not renting, ask about current electricity bill, amount and provider, check the roof type and orientation, north facing is ideal, and if qualified we need to schedule a visit. Now I've just realized that we have missed this orientation here, and we can just go and add that in here, do a capital O, and I'm going to make that a drop down, and I'm going to put in north, south, east, and west. So now that's in there. When we go to configure this first step, I can move the test one that we created across, and I can move the orientation one across. So we're going to save that now. Let's check that it did save. I'm pretty sure it did. Yep, we've got test and we've got orientation in there. And we're going to go and have a look in the actual stream and click on one of these records. So we have the customer name, the email, the phone number, the address, and as you can see, certain fields are required. So I might just put some values in there. And like we put in the current bill value, say it's $250 a month or something. We have the roof type, so in there we've got that drop down, we've got the iron one that we just added, we've got the orientation, we say it's north facing, and we've got this test one in here that we added as well. So we'll save that, but it's telling me that that number there is invalid, so that's pretty cool. So we'll just adjust that and try that again. Okay, that's good. Now again, we can go in the help here and we can have a look and see what it says in here. This is telling me how to move to the next record, but what I want to do is I want to say what is the best way to use this step, or how do I use the lead step. Let's see what it says. So to use the lead step in the sales stream, your primary goal is to qualify new solar inquiries. Here's what you need to do. So it's basically gone and it's brought up that documentation that we added in earlier. And the reason why this is good, because this is for user adoption. So if you've got new staff, they don't have to rely on someone, they don't have to ask someone. If you've documented it, it should be easily readable to get hold of, and they can look at and find the answers themselves. And this is again why I love streams, because you've got the documentation process built into the whole thing. Anyway, let's have a look at what we can do with moving on to the next step. So we can now go to a site visit, and in here we've got photos that we need to upload to progress, or these are all the different steps that we could create. Let's have a quick look. We've got the quote step, which I'm going to go into a bit later and show you everything that you can do with quotes, which is a plugin. We have an acceptance, and this is telling me we've got missing fields and we've got a deposit paid, so it won't let us progress until we've filled out certain things. The other thing that I want to point out here is we have this audit trail here, so we can come back and have a look and see what actually happened along the way. And this is telling me the step has incremented. There's an entry here, so what has happened? Someone's put in the value of test. What else have we got? We've got the north orientation. So there's a full audit trail with the whole system that we can have a look at any time. So I just want to summarize now what we have covered in streams. We've gone through and we've looked at the different steps that we can create. We've added data. We've looked at the help, and I've touched on some of the plugins. Now, I just want to highlight again the power of streams in that you are defining your own steps, the steps that work with your business the way that you want. You can create this in any way you want, or any naming or any convention that works well and how your business works. You're not constrained by a traditional CRM system that work in particular ways. The other thing is I want to go into in my next video is some of the plugins. Now, we have quite a few plugins here. We have an email, a MyOb, an OCR, a quotes section, an SMS, and a Zero. And I'm going to be looking at the quotes section and what we can do with that. So click on the link for the next one and we'll go through quotes together. Thank you.